Lake Erie. We're gonna go on tour from them guys. The good times, whatever. But flip you around. Here's the city of Cleveland. Baseball, football field, whatever that one is. I think that's the baseball field. I don't know. And the lake. And the boat. So we're just hanging out, waiting for the time to start. There's a beer truck delivering beer to the bar and to the boat. The plane. There's a ship there. Or something, or a dock. I don't know what the heck that is. Cool bridge. Cleveland Clipper, so that's a ship over there. In the baseball field. Building with a pole in the way, that's the tallest building, whatever it is. Can I read it? Maybe I could read it when I look at it later. Beer truck leaving. Looking back around. Well, that's one. I need that. I think I need that anchor chain. Pull it behind the tractor. Level some ground. And if you're bored, see, I wish I could flip this around. Hello, I see 7 people on here. We're gonna go on this boat today. Which is kind of cool. Get the emergency instructions in case I need them. If you get wet, you need an orange thing. Throw it to the person, hit him in the head, and pull him in. Yep, got it. Actually see water. Give the chain a kick. Yeah, that probably weighs 1,000 pounds. That's a lot of weight. At this point, we're still just hanging out, waiting to board and stuff. Deliveries. Good time 2. Good time 3. That's the place to be, right where the radar is. Get blasted. The horns up there. Awesome. That's where we want to be. American flag. Other flag. Hey John, could you jump in and tell me how cold the water is?
We should have a thermometer thing. A long thermometer thing.
We got you. You can jump in.
They got it on. But that one where we deep out.
Anybody have a question or something, just let me know. Right now there's not much I can do. And I have a suspicion that once we get out away from the city a little bit, we're going to lose cell service, so we'll see. But I see the cell tower up there. That building. Oh.
How about we get our picture taken here?
Someone lost their underwear.
I don't care.
It's your underwear here. You want me to take my coat? Here, up to you. You want to take a picture of me and Jim? We never hardly... Here, hold this. Right here. Here, give me this.
Let's not.
Another one? Let's not?
Let's not give her the tickets.
Okay, got that. Here. What's that called?
I'm playing grab ass, but I can't get there. Ah, I grabbed her ass.
Oh, you...
Ow! You're grabbing my ass.
I took a whole bunch.
We get somewhere, and I go, we should have taken pictures.
Okay, well, I took a whole bunch.
Okay, this is what happens. And I'm like, okay, we like to use different pictures for different things. I'm like, we have no pictures together.
Here, we got your picture now. You're live on the internet.
I know, here. I'll take this. Okay. All right. I'm going to get rid of some. I'll give it to you. He wants to wear pink. That's fine. In case I need it. I'll put this one on.
You get up in the wind, you
know.
know.
The lake, the wind. It gets cool. Yeah. Huh? I heard something.
You ready to swim on?
Hello, whoever joined. We're on Lake Erie, Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, I know which one to say.
Looking to board the Good Time 3 for a lake cruise for a couple hours. Thought I would whip up the chat. We're out here with family, and we're having a ball.
Survive water. Okay.
If I'm going down, you're going down.
There's whatever the Cleveland team is named now. I think that's the baseball stadium.
The water when we got out of the car. Okay. Yeah, I said, oh, what's that?
City.
Mom says she wants to go for a swim today. It's hot.
Let's not say that. They won't let you on. They think you're going to be rowdy.
Okay. I was like, oh.
She's a big one. This must have been a ferry at some point. I'm sure we'll get some history on her. You want to see my nuts?
I've seen him. You're not supposed to take any food on.
You want to see my nuts?
No, I don't want to see him.
It's not food. It's for the birds.
It's for the birds, okay. I have those nuts I bought yesterday in my purse. I bought some cinnamon rolls.
And there was a tour of some kids. How would you like to take care of 200 kids in the middle of a city like this?
I gotta send Belva the link.
Isn't that awesome?
Watch it. It's some of these is done. Not the computer.
No, thank you.
Might be interested in.
No, thank you. You
She
know,
called me the other day, but
we don't take care of that many kids.
and then I texted her. I said, I'll call you sometime this weekend when I'm home. They're doing their cleaning over here. Sweeping.
See, John told you.
Yeah, I know they do.
What?
They weren't over that long.
Oh yeah. Yeah, whatever there was, it
It was fast.
it's probably something educational.
Right.
Excuse me.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
I'm good, thanks. I'll be more than here in a few minutes.
No problem.
You get this order and put away.
Yep, no problem.
Message retracted. You can talk. It's okay. Couldn't see you. Unless you're a spammer, then I don't like you.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Maybe it is.
That's the radar dish. Make sure we don't get lost.
Yeah, see, Jim, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, it hit me in the eye every time I walk near it.
It's okay.
Or the neck. If it's, wouldn't that be nice? I
That
don't,
one's that mount and fold down.
yeah, sure. It's gonna hit you in the head.
No, it ain't.
Yes.
They just raised it.
Yeah, stand over there. It'll hit you in the head. Yeah.
Goodbye, baby. You told me you wanted something to catch. That I could buy anything I wanted.
You took. Yeah. I don't really care. You can mount anything there if you want. Well, I ain't touching it. I don't know how I'm gonna get there from now.
up on the wing.
I bet you go where those airplanes were sitting. You can get on that and ride the plane. That's a tour plane.
Is it?
It has to be. It's the second time it came through.
I don't want it. I'd video it for you. Yeah. Well, they're probably coming to deliveries in the morning. Or at 10.
Hello, whoever joined. We're about to get on a
Well, they should be shut it
boat in Lake Erie. I put the website in the title, so we should be able to figure out where we're going. It's the Good Times 3 ship. Here comes another group of kids walking around the lake. I think they're walking them around the lake to see how many they can dump in the water. See how many jump in on their own, and they don't have to take them home. People, hello. We're about to board a ship in Lake Erie. Good Times. Three or whatever.
Do it online. Yeah. Where you're lining up?
Well, that's the back of the line over there, so
Okay, I don't know the line. Oh,
I just didn't want to stand in the sun too long.
Yeah. That's the world.
Anybody have any questions? I don't know anything, but I will try to answer. They're coming to get you, John.
Oh, yeah. I see you.
Thank you. wheels on that walker are the wrong
How
way.
do we walk? We gotta walk this way.
Well, I don't know, isn't it?
Supposed to be on the outside.
Oh, that's what you mean.
It's crazy when I look at all these places and Lynn will say to me, well, how do you know that?
Hey, Betty, be careful here.
I'll
This
say, oh,
doesn't
that was a
give you much
bariatric walker.
room.
Double set of wheels, I go. In the front. That's not.
Our luck, a big bus will come.
Yeah, I wouldn't make her walk any further. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll pick you up around the corner. Around the corner. Yeah. Yep. You just gonna stay there? Yeah, they said I could stay here.
Well,
Shannon stay with you.
Yeah, you can stay with Betty.
I said you should have her.
It's cool.
Right.
Laughing.
Huh?
Are you laughing?
Am I allowed?
Stay
I
here
don't know.
with Betty, so you don't have to walk all the
The
way.
boss says I can't laugh.
I didn't say that. I said, are you laughing? That you shouldn't be laughing. Hmm?
No, I guess we gave permission to let them stand there. They said it's okay. Okay, let's stand here.
Come on, you're not going to make me go to the bathroom like this. While she's walking.
I don't think we're allowed to give permission.
Well, so
We could say we don't care.
I would have told him to go in front of us. I was willing to tell him that too.
Okay, but there might be 100 people behind you, and I like that. So I don't care, personally.
You gotta take a picture of life.
Check your phone. She said something about you gotta take a picture of your license plate for parking or something. She just said it. And she's in line and found out later. Just look at what your thing says. See if it's gonna make you do it. Is there any text from them or anything? So, picture of the license plate. If you park here, make sure you get a picture of your license plate for the parking. Because they send you a text later. They'll probably tow you away if you don't give them a picture. Because, you know, it's the way they roll in public lots. I don't even know if it's a public, be private lot. Don't have any idea. But we heard somebody in line saying they saw the text and had to do it, so
You needed it to pay for parking. I had to enter my plate.
yeah, but did they send you a text and ask you for a picture?
I got an email.
Did they give you an email and ask you for a picture? So that's what I heard her say, something like that.
Parking confirmation for your recent purchase.
So apparently not. Well, I don't know. This is what she was saying.
Hi.
So he's about to scan you guys in. If you have a bag, I do need to give that quick check.
Oh, I just got this.
You can just unzip it for me.
Unzip it? Sure.
Yes.
This one's kind of big.
My fault.
What'd you have? Okay. Yeah, that's a lot different still. All right. Who's got tickets?
A little pouch.
Gotcha.
They're funny.
That's a cute bag, by the way.
Thank you.
All right. Step right up, folks. Hold on, let me fix this.
Yeah, just hold on. They gotta do all their.
I guess that's as high as it goes. Sorry about that.
Sure. Us four. Right here. Oh, I guess you go that way. There's.
All right. You are all good to go. Thank you.
You don't need the back page?
No, pulled all four of them up.
Okay, we're good.
All right, folks. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you.
We're in. We're gonna get music, but I don't have YouTube anyway, so I mean I don't have. They can copyright strike it all they want. They can have it. But we're on the ship. Pretty cool. Floor is nice. It's like it's all paint, so it's full marble. Well, unfortunately for you people, we're going in here. So we're going to take a little break, and I will just cover you up and do that. Let's go out on deck. We are off the stern. Sorry about the little break and interruption there. but you know, sometimes you gotta do stuff. Oh, there's a life raft. You think they'll fit 100 people on that baby? Crane? People should fit on that lifeboat. There's some weird people. We gotta stay away from them.
Who are you? I don't know.
Aren't you supposed to be in the engine room?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, down.
Nice to have a soundtrack with the video today.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
People laying pipe. I mean, parking. That's a crazy bridge, huh? What's that thing fold up? This little harbor in front here, this must be for like personal things. The JLG putting in the parking barriers. That's some cool architecture. Looks like an office that hangs out in the middle of effing nowhere. Weird. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is right there, that glass, I think. One of those buildings right there. There's a round building. It's probably like a planetarium-ish thing. That's probably a museum over there, I think. And then whichever team plays there. I think it's the baseball team. And since they used to be the Indians, I don't know what they are now because I'm not from here. What are they called now, guys? Somebody tell me what the Cleveland baseball team is called now. It's probably the Coal Diggers or something, huh? So I know people were offended by being associated with Native Americans, which is really weird to me. I think that would be cool. You know, what do I know? my high school was the Michigan Indians. Probably ain't anymore. Yeah. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son. Ooh, look. Should we ride up here? What do you think? If we stand up here, right by the radar, and lean forward, it'd be just like on the Titanic, right? This is the top floor. That's where the boss sits. Oh, there's like a... right there? There must be like a fountain when it's turned on. What'd you say? That's probably a fountain over there. Sorry for being so jittery. Just a phone. Here comes some more pipes. I mean, parking barrier thingies. Where's he going there? He's got them all there. Oh, I see. So it looks like this is kind of a new thing, or they take these out for the winter maybe. Because like where we parked, that way there's big areas where there isn't any, but then there's some areas where there are some. So I imagine that yesterday they came in here, and wherever there wasn't one, wasn't a car park, they put one. And today people all parked in front of them because we're all weasels, or what do you call those things that follow each other over that cliff? What are those called? Somebody tell me. Lemmings. We're all lemmings, and we're all going to park where there's a thing because that's where we're supposed to park. Except those people. Those people are not lemmings. And I would guess right up the road here, they're going to put in all those barriers so people know where to park. Probably, right? There's where we boarded. We are 3 stories up. Got awesome cell signal here. I don't think it's going to last for long. We'll see. I don't know exactly where we're going. That's like a... out there it's like an airport. As we drove in, they got 2 F4 Phantoms sitting on poles over there at the entranceway. I'd love for somebody to take off or land here. That'd be cool. While I'm standing here. Up there we got a big old radar, speakers, lights, navigation and fog lights, and that's a weather station. Wind speed and direction, temperature, pressure, and there's another little thing there that looks like just a node. Oh, that's a radio thing, radio antenna. Oh, the mast. There, big old spotlight for when they're searching in the water for somebody who jumped overboard. String of lights. Probably pretty at night. There's a little wind today. Some little flags blowing. Telehandler's laying some more pipe. So, not very exciting yet, guys and gals, and in between. We're not doing the dinner cruise thing. We are doing just a old folks cruise thing. This is the senior discount time. So all the old folks and a few that aren't. See, I got one person here yet. I got one like. Anybody wants to give me a like? That'd be cool. G for GoodEnough. This is the Sir GoodEnough cruise. That's funny. I think it's funny. Sorry. Look on the water, fire in the skies. I like the music a lot. My vibe for music. Oh, those are LEDs. Why not? Ugh. That was that many stairs up. Hopefully. Hello, whoever joined. Give me a like if you will. That'd be cool. We are on Lake Erie, Cleveland, Ohio. I'm visiting family. And we found this boat. The Good Times 3. It does a senior cruise on the lake. Not anywhere else this time of day. This time of year. People, leave those kids alone. We'll put you upside down for a second. We'll try not to drop you in the water.
Hello, weird people. Anybody down there that I know? I see familiar hair. Look up. Hey, Wisconsin nerd, look up. The other way. The other up. Look out and up. I'm over your head. Are you ignoring me? Is your phone more important than me?
Oh well. She's kind of zoned. You deaf? I was yelling at you. I was this far away. I said, Wisconsin nerd, look up.
I didn't hear it. You didn't hear it.
Yeah, it's open. Ooh, what's that? Oh, the engines have started. We have engineage. One of them. Oh, both of them. I see smoke out of both of them. Oh, somebody dropped a log. That one's got a little smoky. That one's got a little clean and running. That's the pipe layer making that noise. Nobody watching. We're about to leave. Ah, oh. That one wasn't running. It's running now. She's got a good diesel smoke going. He must have been cranking on that one to try to get it to go. That's better. Name of the boat, ship, ish, whatever. A ticket office, apparently. Hello, whoever joined. We are on the Good Time 3, Lake Erie, Cleveland, Wisconsin. Link is in the title. I'm just a passenger today on the senior trip for the day. The engines have just started, so we're going to be moving soon. I want to be back here for the cast off. I don't know what this thing is. Perco. Wow. It's not strong enough to be... Oh, it's a light. I see it now. It's a light. A light with a knob on it. Must be able to change the color of the lens or something. I love the smell of the diesel when it's running right. It smells great. I watch enough YouTube now with diesel engines that I kind of know how they actually work. Can't say that I've always known how they actually work. They're kind of a mystery to me with no spark plugs and stuff. What do you guys think about diesels? You like the smell? So now these are marine engines, and they're probably, I would guess, this ship was probably a ferry. Probably built in the 60s, 50s maybe, 60s probably. I don't know. Hope the captain will tell us. They are usually proud of their ships, and they give us a little history of them, what they were, what they did. Oh, there's a tug floating around in the harbor. Got it idled up a ways. Hear a jet squirming around out there. I don't see it. Oh, I hope he takes off. That's what I really want right now. Boat's cool. Jets are cooler. I hear, but I don't see. Do you see it? See it. Wants to turn on the screws for a second because he's got some water churning. But where's that jet? Right out there. There he is. See him in here? He's that pole. Maybe? Yeah, there he is. He's taking off. I gotta admit, that could have been cooler. But it wasn't bad. Beeping our horn, getting ready for departure. I'm sure we'll see some crew toss the lines here in a second.
During the cruise, the concession stand located on the main deck is open and serving hot coffee, soft drinks, sandwiches, and snacks. Also, for your convenience, there are additional refreshment stands located on the second and third decks. The captain reserves the right to alter the route due to risk and other conditions at his discretion. Before waist and fasten the strap in front. These orange life jackets are located in the large white boxes clearly marked adult and child life jackets.
Very exciting. We're rocking a little bit now. Must be pulling away from the dock. There we go. Pulling the back. Pulling the front out. Must have through the front lines. Think you can pull hard enough to pull that over? Take the whole dock with us. Nobody watching and we're about to take off. Well, I guess that was our boat tour. Make the lines tight. Must be testing, huh? Oh no, now we're reverse thrusting. Stopping it. Make the lines loose. Okay, I get it. Front lines must be off. Making the back lines loose. Comes one. I didn't even see him pop that one. I hope you saw it because I missed it. We're loose. Beep our horn. And away we go, 1 hour into the stream. So I'll add that to the description. Hour in is where we start the move. Hello, whoever joined. We are on the Good Times 3. Lake Erie. Probably the Cuyahoga River, one of the rivers, but I think that's it. We are going to do a couple hour cruise today.
To our left, built at a cost of nearly $12 million, is the 7.6 acre coastal park, the first Park is now home to a transient docking area, a new modern Mexican restaurant, and a new harbor verandas building, which features 16 luxurious apartments and ground-level retail space. A Cleveland strip sign, basketball courts, and volleyball courts have also been added to entertain visitors. In the background, we can see the unique Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum designed by world-renowned architect I.M. It opened in 1995 to a crowd of more than 10,000 people. A Cleveland VIP
Hope you guys can hear.
provides the opportunity for just under 400,000 people that reside in Cleveland to visit the museum and Hall of Fame free of charge, thanks to a $10 million grant from KeyBank announced in 2018. This program will run until 2028. We can also see the Great Lakes Science Center with the dome on the backstage. This facility is home to various scientific exhibits, interactive displays, as well as the NASA Glenn Visitor Center.
Oh, this is
The
better.
150-foot-tall wind turbine contributes approximately 7% of the Science Center's annual power needs. A solar array at the main entrance introduces an average of 100 kilowatt hours daily. A solar array at the main entrance produces an average of 100 kilowatt hours daily, or enough to power 4 homes. We can now get an excellent view of the lake carrier William G. Mather, built in 1925 by Great Lakes Engineering Works in Ecorse, Michigan. At the time of her construction, the William G. Mather was considered the latest in ship design, propulsion, navigational equipment, and crew accommodations. Her typical route involved carrying iron ore from Lake Superior to the lower Great Lakes ports to supply the steel mills. The Mather is an example of a classic straight-decker lake boat, and unlike modern self-unloaders, required assistance from dockside unloading equipment, such as the famous Hewlett ore unloaders. With the advent of the 1,000-foot self-unloading ships, the Mather simply could not compete economically, and after 55 years of service, the William G. Mather was permanently laid up. In 1987, the steamship was donated to the Great Lakes Historical Society and is now operated as a museum ship by the Great Lakes Science Center. This tour offers a rare glimpse into the inner workings of the working ships of the Great Lakes. The Cleveland Browns football stadium, or now named Huntington Bank Field, seating 67,000 fans,
Oh, it's the football
was
stadium.
built at a cost
I didn't know which one it was.
of $1 million. This stadium replaces the old Municipal Stadium, which was home to the Browns for 49 years. Concrete debris from Municipal Stadium was used to create artificial reefs in 3 areas along the shoreline to provide vital habitat for local marine life. The brick wall on our right was begun in 1870 and completed in 1896 by the United States government and is maintained by the Army Corps of Engineers. This wall is 4.5 miles long and rests on a base 200 feet wide. It is triangular in shape. The front or north side of the wall diverts the force of the waves upwards, which breaks the energy of the waves. Maintenance of the wall goes on almost year-round to protect the harbor and shore installations from heavy seas that whip up on Lake Erie in all fall and winter months. The docks to our left, all along the lakefront, were built to accommodate the foreign ships that dock here since the opening of the St. Lawrence Seaway in 1959. Nearly 300 ocean-going vessels from over 50 countries and 120 world ports have chosen the Cleveland World Port to deliver and receive goods because of its excellent geographical position on the Great Lakes. For more than a century, the port has grown to be the largest on Lake Erie and the 3rd largest on the entire Great Lakes, with an average tonnage that now exceeds 25 million. More than $300 million in cargo goes in and out each year, which supports nearly $3.5 billion total dollars in regional value, including $1.4
Welcome whoever joined.
in personal income and local consumption.
We're on a ship in Lake Erie, Cleveland, Ohio.
Limestone, steel, powdered
Doing a
cement,
little
and
old
heavy
folks
machinery.
boat tour on the
Seaway
Good Times 3.
1959, one of the boats of the
Welcome.
Good Time cruise line carried
Give me a like if you
news and news
enjoying this.
to greet the first ship to enter the skiway. In 2014, the port of
Tell your
Cleveland
friends.
began a new era of container shipping by partnering with the Dutch Spielhof Group to offer regular cargo runs
I
between
know.
Cleveland and northern Northern Europe. The Spielhoff Group is the largest.
The recording is telling you more than I know anything about this. I'm just here visiting family, and this is all just cool to me.
Cheaper and greener route to Europe by allowing manufacturers to avoid moving goods to the coast by truck and rail. What began as a small pilot project has blossomed into a serious operation, connecting the Port of Cleveland with ports all over the world. Taking advantage of Cleveland's robust intermodal access, the Cleveland Europe Express has led the way as the Great Lakes' only direct containerized and non-containerized cargo service to Europe and beyond. To put into perspective how important intermodal service from the Port of Cleveland is, keep in mind that the Port of Cleveland is within an 8-hour drive of half of all U.S. households, businesses, and manufacturing plants, and has robust access to north-south and east-west railways. The large train on Dock 28 is called the Buckeye Booster. It is one of the largest cranes on any U.S. Great Lakes port, able to lift an enormous 150 tons. The Port of Cleveland has rapidly scaled up its infrastructure with the acquisition of a number of new cranes and reach stackers to help manage the influx of shipping containers. Since 1928, the tallest building on the horizon was the Cleveland Union Terminal Tower. This tower rises 1/8 of a mile high, 708 feet above the Union Terminal Concourse. However, the tallest building on the skyline of Cleveland is now the Key Tower building. Rising 948 feet and 58 stories, this building now joins many other contemporary structures, including the Erie View Tower, the Federal Building, the Justice Center, the former BP America Building, and the new Hilton on Cleveland's rapidly rising skyline. Most of the major banks have also built new buildings on East 9th Street, and with the stockbrokers located here, East 9th Street has become Cleveland's financial center. About 50 miles away on our right front is where the Battle of Lake Erie was fought during the War of 1812. Admiral Perry, along with his fleet of ships called Niagara, Lawrence, Ariel, Scorpion, and Porcupine, defeated Admiral Barclay's fleet of English ships and sent this immortal message: "We have met the enemy, and they are ours. 2 ships, 2 brigs, 1 schooner, and 1 sloop." Due to unfavorable light winds, Admiral Perry's forces nearly lost the engagement before it truly began. Perry's flagship, the Lawrence, suffered heavy damage, and when the very last cannon became unusable, Admiral Perry transferred his command to the brig Niagara. Hoisting his infamous battle flag bearing the words, "Never give up the ship," the Niagara broke the British line and led to perhaps the most significant American victory in the War of 1812. The lighthouse and finger lights mark the entrance to Cleveland's harbor. The flashing red and white lights can be seen as far as 16 miles out on the lake. The tower also contains the foghorn and radio beacons. As we look out at Lake Erie, bear in mind that it is the 11th largest lake in the world, containing over 116 cubic miles of water. Lake Erie is known to be one of the most important lakes in the world because of its continuing contributions to the history, economy, and development of the United States.
I'm partial to Lake Michigan. It's bigger. Sorry. It's cool though. And the cranes. That must be the right there. That must be the great crane they were talking about. Big cranes here. Lighthouse over there, excavator over there. It's a bridge. It's a freaking bridge. That's a freaking bridge. I don't know what. Are those the cranes you're talking about? Those are big cranes. SpaceX is big cranes. Those are pretty big. It's cool, but I'm not impressed. So we're headed up the river here. can do it. Great. Tell your friends you're going a tour with me on Lake Erie and Cuyahoga River. It's awesome. Otherwise, it'll be on my YouTube channel. What you want to see later, but if you got anything you want me to point the camera at, just let me know. Give me a chat. Come up there, but I think all the masks and stuff are in the way. I think I got a better shot video here. Like that's
We're now at the entrance of the Cuyahoga River. Cuyahoga is the Native American name meaning crooked. The river winds around over shipping day for nearly 100 miles. However, the source of the river is only 30 miles from its mouth. The Cuyahoga rises at an elevation of 1,300 feet above sea level and discharges into Lake Erie at an elevation of 570 feet. For most of its length, the drop in elevation is between 4 and 5 feet per mile. However, at there's a sharp drop of 200 feet in only 1.5 miles. Its final elevation level of 570 feet produces the Flats District of Cleveland. On our right, the white building.
So they're saying Cleveland was built in a swamp. The flats, another word for swamp. The delta discharge of a river. The flats, the swamp.
Marks has recently partnered with Sherwin-Williams Great Lakes Brewing Company, the Burning River Foundation, and PNC Bank to oversee
Burning River Foundation.
Coast Guard Station. The Foundry, an organization that also operates rowing docks further upstream on the Cuyahoga, has done a great job of converting the old lifeboat launches used by the United States Coast Guard at this location until 1976 into a whole array of floating jet docks accommodating all ages and abilities to learn to sail right here on Lake Erie. The land of the ride is called Whiskey Island. At one time, it was occupied by steamers who unloaded the old sailing vessels and by others who worked on the lakefront. The island had many saloons, and during Prohibition, the rum runners brought in the liquor in from Canada. This gave the island its name. The land to our left is known as Dock 20. The large cement silos were formerly owned by the S. Rock Company, but are now operated by High Cement, a member of the very large Heidelberg Cement Group. Powdered cement is shipped here on barges, offloaded into silos, and trucked out as needed for the building industry. The RTA waterfront line can also be seen on Dock 20 as it winds up and over the tracks of Fort Hogan Summit. The RTA waterfront line is 2.2 miles and takes 10 minutes from the Muni parking lot to Tower City. The railroad bridge ahead of us is the Norfolk and Southern Vertical Lift Bridge of the former Conrail, New York Central, and Penn Central Railroads. It lifts like a skater, revealing the industrial light and entertainment center of Cleveland. The bridge was built in 1954 to replace a cumbersome swing bridge and spans the river 250 feet. This bridge has 2 tracks in order to run simultaneous east and westbound traffic and is remotely administered by a dispatcher in Atlanta, Georgia. The fork in the river to the right was the original course of the river. The mark that Moses Cleveland entered when he founded the city in 1796. At that time, the mouth of the river was a mile from here at what is now Edgewater Park. The entrance that we are using was dug between 1825 and 1840 when Congress appropriated $90,000 to open this new channel. We're often asked, who pays for the opening and closing of these bridges? Are we charged a toll or a fee? Well, the answer is no. The decision was reached in a landmark court case back in the early 1800s. Many bridges were being built for the first time, and when this became a vital question, it was decided that if you build a bridge across a navigable waterway, you are responsible for the opening and closing of that bridge, and you cannot charge a toll or a fee. A young Abraham Lincoln was involved in this court case. All the bridges in the Cuyahoga River system are operated free of charge to anyone wishing to go through or over it. Looking at both sides of the river, we now get an excellent...
Oh, I lost you, whoever you are.
On our right, once again, we have the entrance to the old riverbed with an excellent view of the Nautica Entertainment Complex, which includes Shooter's Yacht Club and the Music Box Supper Club. The section on our left was once the main part of fleets, shipbuilders, ship repairs, and many other businesses were located here. Passenger steamers departed from here to all points of the Great Lakes. The Wolski Group has headed up the development of the exciting new East Bank neighborhood to our left. The $275 million first phase of the Flats project compromises the Ernst & Young Tower and the Loft Hotel, a fitness center, restaurants, and a parking garage. The second phase is anchored by a new riverfront boardwalk and the Flats East Bank apartment building, where 6 residential floors perched atop several ground floor restaurants and businesses and partially concealed second-story parking. Phase 3 of the Flats East Bank development tentatively includes the construction of additional apartments, restaurants, and retail space, and possibly a movie theater. The bridge high above, the Main Avenue high-level bridge, is more commonly known as Lakeshore Boulevard Bridge, Memorial Shoreway Drive Bridge, or Route 62 and 20 Bridge. The bridge was built in 1939 and spans the river 218 feet. At 8,000 feet in total length, it held the distinction of being the longest elevated structure in Ohio until 2007. We're now in the heart of the Flats. 100 years ago, this entire area was filled with sailing steamships, bringing in and taking out merchandise from all over the Great Lakes. This was the trademark of Cleveland as a diverse, hard-working, blue-collar city. Today's blend of recreation alongside its industry now gives the Flats its vitality. The grassy area to our left front is known as Settler's Landing. It was here at the water's edge that Moses Cleveland first set foot on the Western Reserve, having been commissioned by the Connecticut Land Company as the head of a band of surveyors in 1796. To our left, you can see the new Collision Bend Brewing Company with its large waterfront patio, which has breathed new life into the old Houseshare building, which was built in 1863 and first served as a chandlery to service and supply the commercial ships passing through. Also to our left, the revival of interest in living downtown can be seen with construction of the Riverbend condominiums and the Crittenden apartment building. Not to mention a 3,500 square foot dog park built by the Downtown Cleveland Alliance to serve local residents' canine companions. The RTA rail system linking Cleveland's lakefront with the Flats can also be seen running along the river at this point. To our right, we have the old powerhouse built in 1892 to generate power for one of the first streetcar lines in the city and was used continuously until 1926. This beautiful old building has been renovated to accommodate a cafe, banquet rooms, and
We're in Cleveland on the Cuyahoga River
which opened in January
on a boat tour.
Hundreds of yards of boardwalk have been built alongside the old powerhouse. Also to our right is Jacob's Pavilion at Nautica, featuring many events and musical acts during the warm weather months. The bridge to our right in the open position is the Baltimore and Ohio Jackknife Bridge number 463. The bridge was built in the upright or open position, taking 2 years to build at a cost of $5.5 million. It was built in 1956 and spans the river 229 feet. It is no longer in use. The area to our left is the site of former Van Duzer Art Studio. Cleveland artist Clarence Van Duzer lived and worked in this location throughout the 70s and 80s. The building and land were purchased by the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District to expand the Superior Pump Station and to free up the Cleveland space for the future Canal Basin Park. The next bridge, close to the water, is the Center Street Bobtail Swing Bridge. It will be the fourth bridge and the fourth type of bridge that we will have passed through or under since entering the Cuyahoga River. The bridge is perfectly balanced and capable of swinging up or downstream. But the bridge opens and closes, it goes around like a merry-go-round. It was built way back in 1901 by the King Bridge Company.
I don't see it yet.
At a cost of $57,000 and spans the river 113 feet. This is one of the last existing examples of a bobtail swing bridge, and is the last operative one in Ohio. The bridge has been rebuilt 3 times, 1948, 1993, and 2023, and was originally operated by Stevens. The large high bridge above
There it is.
superior high-level bridge renamed the first Milwaukee Bridge, the honor service personnel of this area.
going into the bridge. And there's the main bridge in it. The thing swings around circles. Civil War building. That must be that old building.
They all moved away, and today there's no trace of them. But it is still known as the Irish Town Bend. Cleveland Metro Parks, together with Land Studio, announced $10.8 million for the National Park Service's Outdoor Recreation Legacy Partnership, ORLP program, has been awarded for the development of the future Irish Town Bend Park. A $65 million stabilization project is currently underway by the Port of Cleveland. Once complete in 2025, the stabilized hillside will provide an opportunity to create a 25-acre public waterfront park, including an amphitheater, overlook plazas, picnic areas, open space, play area, and a boardwalk connecting Cleveland residents and visitors to more than 125 miles of regional trails and green spaces, including connections to the Cuyahoga River and Lake Erie. On our left, we can now see the Cleveland Rowing Foundation. The huge boathouse shelters 120 rowing shells. This area is one of the only places in Northeast Ohio for all the high school, college, and adult rowers to pursue their sport, enjoying human-powered boats on the lower Cayahoga. It is open to anyone willing to pay a fee to participate in any of the programs or groups involved. To our left, you can see Merwin's Wharf Bistro. This bistro-style restaurant is owned and operated by the Cleveland Metro Parks. In fact, it's named for a very early settler of this area, Noble H. Merwin, who owned several businesses, including a hotel, a general store, and one of the area's first taverns. Beyond Merwin's Wharf is the Crooked River Skate Park. The park is owned and operated by the City of Cleveland and is open to the public. The park was completed in 2014. Owned by the city and operated by a large grant from the Domini Foundation. The next bridge is the Terminal Viaduct. This Pennsylvania Truss-style bridge was built between 1925 and 1935. The West Side Rapid Transit uses this viaduct. The Green Bridge is the Columbus Road Bridge, originally built in 1940. After 73 years of use, the bridge required a major overhaul, including a full replacement of the center span. The towers in each bank were sandblasted and repaired.
Well, the horn was to raise that bridge because it's headed up.
And joined with the towers. The $32 million project was completed in 2014. The 220-foot span was reopened to traffic.
They're raising her up for us. See it going up? Oh, that's better. Over here they're pulling in pilings. Giant ass crane. Back over to the bridge going up. See some of the sculls, rolling boats, whatever you call them, down here. Hi! You're on YouTube. There's the bridge almost up. So But she has to go all the way up for us. And it's up as far as it goes, or as far as it needs to go, at least.
Right here is where the first bridge was built across the Cuyahoga River in 1835. At this very location in the valley. In the early 1800s, there were two cities. On the left side, or east bank, was the city of Cleveland. On the right side, or west bank, was Ohio City. The merchants of Ohio City did not want the bridge built because they thought that Ohio City people would shop in Cleveland instead. So they fought the construction of the bridge. However, the bridges were built, giving rise to the name Cleveland had for many years, the City of Bridges. Up to the right, after passing under the Columbus Road Bridge, we can see the Grove Court condominiums. This is a complex.
Sorry, traffic.
With no two being alike, it is closely flanked on its left by a visually striking custom home designed by Thornton Harper
Little
Architects.
bitty, weird little
To our right
boats.
front, you can see the sign of very development in the flats. This land is what's known as the Scranton Peninsula and was used for many years as a dock for the Alpha Precast Corporation and later the United Ready Mix Corporation. Approximately 10 acres has been parceled out for the Great Lakes Brewing Company for a future expansion. Two separate new projects can be seen now. The closest to the river's edge is Silver Hills at Thunderbird, a dense, intentional city neighborhood designed for the next 100 years with authentic, intimate spaces, timeless but aspirational architecture, intriguing pedestrian corridors, and a unique waterfront featuring a multimodal riverside trail and public park. The one behind, or to the east, is called The Collins at Riverbend, a brand new high-end apartment community developed and managed by the NRP Group. Completed in 2025, The Collins offers 316 thoughtfully designed residences, including a mix of stylish apartments and spacious townhomes.
Live like a
ranging from
tuna
studio layouts to
can.
expansive 3-bedroom floor plans. With premium
No effing way.
stunning city and riverfront views in a prime location near downtown. The old brick building on the left was once used as a stable by monks and is well over 100 years old. For years, this was the home of the Pipeline Development Company where fittings were designed and manufactured for the repair and maintenance of pipelines all over the world. The building also housed a unique museum dedicated to pipelines and then government. The museum has been relocated in Wesley and displays all types of pipes, including old wooden gas pipes and lead pipes that were used in ancient Rome. The buildings are now home to the Foundry, a community rowing and sailing center geared toward youth in the Cleveland area. The Foundry is home to more than 100 rowing machines, as well as a top-of-the-line physical training facility open to all students regardless of experience. The buildings have been renovated to include additional
I wouldn't
space
want to live
for
there.
large indoor rowing tanks,
That's
locker room
horrible.
space, special event space, classrooms, and more. Maintaining some of the most
Too
interesting
tiny.
architectural features of these old buildings. The Dr.
Hello, whoever joined.
Is the longest of its kind in the world.
We're in Cleveland on the Cuyahoga River on a tour boat.
From here we get excellent view of Terminal Tower. Before
Hear the
returning to East Ninth
recording
Street,
behind
you
us.
can see this tower from all points of the compass or from all sides. At any time, you can look up and see the tower from the decks of the Good Time 3. The Terminal Tower was built by the Ben Swearingen brothers as an office building resting atop the Union Terminal Station. Over 1,000 structures had to be demolished to make way for the 708-foot, 52-story building, which was the tallest in the world outside of New York City until 1967. The foundations that support this mighty structure had to extend over 250 feet deep due to its height and the loose soil stability.
Loose soil,
The famous
swamp.
building is now owned by
I think I mentioned swamp before.
and has 12 floors of apartments, and the remainder of the 52
We're in the flats,
dedicated to
i.e.
office space.
the swamp of the Cuyahoga River.
The next railroad bridge took over 2 years to build at a cost of nearly $6 million. It was built in 1953 and spans the river 200 feet. Once run by Conrail, it's now privately owned and serves the local area. On our left, we see the dock and cement silos of the St. Mary's Cement Company, which is one of the largest producers in the world. The parent company operates 22 cement plants in the Americas. These 2 silos can store up to 15,000 tons of powdered cement. That black building ahead is the Frank J. Lausch State Office Building. This unique 8-sided building rises 204 feet above street level. Stoning's a leader in energy conservation for the area and is named for Cleveland's 47th mayor. The multi-style building with curved walls is the new federal courthouse, named in honor of the late former Cleveland mayor and municipal judge Carl Lee Stokes. Carl Lee Stokes was the first African-American mayor of a major city.
Yeah, this one was raised for us too.
Now's the time to have the cameras ready. Look at an excellent view of the Terminal Tower framed between two bridges. The first bridge is the old New York Central Railroad Bridge. The second is the Carter Road Bridge, built in 1940. The Carter Road Bridge was named after the first permanent settler in the city of Cleveland, Lorenzo Carter. On the left, the old yellow brick building that looks like an old castle is where the Baltimore and Ohio passenger and freight station was located. This vintage station house was built in 1897 and operated as the city's main passenger hub until a more modern station opened at Terminal
We're slowing down. I think we're waiting for another bridge.
This is the area just on the crest of the hill or on the lee of the hill to protect his family from the cold and icy winds. They come across Lake Erie from the north during the winter months. And
That bridge is coming down.
Is also where Lorenzo Carter built the first ship in the Western Reserve. It was called the schooner Zephyr. They used the little Zephyr to carry people across the Cuyahoga River. People who were migrating from the east to the Black River area, which we now know today as Lorain, Ohio, and the Black Swamp area.
The park that Lead Paint built.
As Toledo, Ohio. On the right, after passing through the two bridges, we see the former GNW shipyard, now owned and operated by Riverfront Yacht Services. Among their many services is the brokerage and repair of private yachts, sailboats, and other ships. Many sailboats, and at times small harbor tugs, can be seen tied up at this site. On the left is the site of the nationally known Sherwin-Williams Paint Company, which incidentally was founded right here in Cleveland in 1866.
Where they invented lead paint.
On the left, we see the 35-acre Tower City Center. Dan Gilbert purchased the avenue portion of the center for $56.5 million in 2016. After 4 years of planning,
That's the state building.
$1.5 billion project named the Riverfront was announced by Bedrock. This project is a transformational mixed-use development, reimagining underutilized land at the historic Tower City Center along the Cuyahoga River. The master plan is made up of 3.5 million square foot mixed-use development.
Mixed uses.
1.4 million square foot of commercial, retail, entertainment.
That's like the
12 acres of publicly accessible space.
the Chicago trade. What do you call that building? I've been in that one.
Open areas, waterfront access, year-round activities, and more than
Probably got a bunch of suites in there for different businesses.
This is a prime example of what can be accomplished from the private and public
Our
sectors
city
aligned.
center.
Equitable initiatives in support of
See it around that.
Bedrock's vision for the redevelopment of the Cuyahoga Riverfront is one of the major projects that will help us realize Cleveland's goal of becoming the 18-hour, 15-minute city we know it can be. The bend in front of us is called Collision Bend. During the years of the old sailing vessels, this was the most narrow bend in the 6 navigable miles of the Cuyahoga River. The sailing ships had no means of communication with each other, and in negotiating the bend, it would meet, get their rigging tangled, and collide. And since that time, it has been dredged to one of the widest places on the river. It still carries the name, Collision Bend. To the left, we see the Terminal Goodman building, which has 2,200 windows and 27 elevators that have traveled well over 10 million miles and are among the fastest elevators in the world. This office building complex called Landmark, there are nearly 1 million square feet of office area, recently refurbished at a cost of $4 million. The building high and to the left, with the green roof, is owned by AT&T, formerly called Ohio Bell. At that time, its construction in 1927, this building was the tallest structure in Cleveland. Incidentally, the first telephone pole in Cleveland was made from this area in 1879. And the tall smokestack is part of the downtown ski management plan of Cleveland Phone Company. This plan, in conjunction with the second facility on Hamilton Avenue, produced and managed more than 1.25 billion pounds of ski to heat most of the buildings in downtown Cleveland, using about 20 miles of pipelines. Chilled water for air conditioning is also also produce and distribute it in the summer months. Behind the smokestack is the Gateway District, home of Cleveland Guardians baseball, Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, and
Cleveland Guardians. I asked before what their name was.
7,000 people.
Guardians.
$175 million to go.
Very generic.
Over 19,000 people. Cost over $300 million. Including the latest renovations was cost about $185 million. Adding 24,000 square feet, along with several new destination hospitality spaces.
Looks like we don't go up that part.
You have an idea of the interesting history and industry of Cleveland. Don't take the time to tell you more about the interesting natural and ecological aspects of Cleveland, the Cayahoga River, and Lake Erie. Accounting for surface area, Lake Erie is the fourth largest of the Great Lakes and is the 11th largest lake in the world at 9,900 square miles. Lake Erie is comparatively shallow, though it does contain roughly 116 cubic miles of water. Water flows into Lake Erie in two ways, between 80 and 90% of the water in Lake Erie flows into the Troy River. The remainder of the water enters Lake Erie by draining into the Lake Erie watershed. Either as the groundwater. The watershed is a region of land that drains into a specific body of water. Since Lake Erie is lower in altitude than much of the surrounding land, it acts as a basin and holds much of the area's precipitation will eventually flow. One of the major challenges Lake Erie faces is that even though a small portion of its water comes from draining into the watershed, a majority of its pollution enters this way. Think of the Lake Erie watershed. It's surrounded by 17 major metropolitan areas, combining more than 12 million people. That's 1/3 of the people who live in the entire Great Lakes Basin. Lake Erie is the Great Lakes surrounded by the most industry, which in turn brought with it intensive pollution, especially in the earlier unregulated years of industrialization. The Cayahoga River was at one time so polluted that it was considered dead, completely bereft of animal life, and steadily slicked with all manner of oil, sludge, and sewage. And keep in mind that this pollution drained into Lake Erie, which was the source of drinking water for a majority of those millions of people in the Lake Erie watershed. It's impossible to discuss the Cayahoga River without addressing the elephant in the room, the Cayahoga River fires. The Chicago, Buffalo, and Rouge Rivers all experienced fires as well, but the 1969 Cayahoga River fire is certainly the most famous. It would serve as a rallying point for the environmental movement. The first recorded fire occurred in usually small oil slicks.
Welcome to whoever you are that joined. Give me a like if you will. We are on a ship, a boat, on the Cayahoga River in Cleveland, Ohio. We're looking at stuff and things, and we're headed back now. I think we got to the end of the tour. They told us about all the city stuff if you were listening earlier. Now they're talking about the burning river. So that's all going on. We've been on for an hour 41. I think at 2 hours I'm going to cut it off, so another 20 minutes. If you have any questions, or you want me to point the camera at something, just drop it in the chat. I'll be right here. Flip you back around. See, they're raising the bridge for us again. They had just raised that for us. Put it down, let the traffic through, and then they pull it back up again. Here's a better shot of the boatyard. Sailboats, powerboats. It's a weird boat. A Manitowoc crane. I grew up basically in Manitowoc. people waiting. Sorry, peoples. Oh, look at people down there painting on the wall.
They are, however, very efficient at converting sunlight and nutrients into more algae, which can be problematic depending on the type of algae. Some algae blooms are unsightly or simply prevent sunlight from reaching deeper into the water. Others can harm fish by clogging their gills. The algae grows, they consume large amounts of oxygen, making the water hypoxic and inhospitable to marine life. The most dangerous kind, which has been getting the most recent attention, are the toxic blue-green cyanobacterial blooms that have plagued western Lake Erie. These produce harmful toxins that require intense work to filter safely. The same type of algae bloom compromised the water supply for over 500,000 people, including in 2014 for several days. The National Guard brought 33,000 gallons of drinking water. Formed out of the open lake and eventually reached local Cleveland area beaches signaling that the issue is not simply tied to the western lake. But what causes these harmful algae blooms? Well, one of the major...
Hello, whatever's there. We are on the Cuyahoga River. Cleveland, not Wisconsin, Cleveland, Ohio, and we're just doing a boat tour. You can hear hopefully you could hear the guy talking on the recording for the boat, for the most part, and the rest of it. They're talking about environmental stuff on the way back. On the way up, it was all talking about the infrastructure.
On behalf of Lake Erie, in order to protect
those tracks are dead.
One fact that plays a very important role in Lake Erie's health is that water is constantly flowing.
These are the apartments that they're building right here, right in the water. Call them dense apartments. I think the sign outside says, "Live like a sardine in a can." No effing way for me, man. Give me a garage and someplace to build shit. That would be no bueno, man. Apartments are too close anyway. There is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 times 4 floors. Must be like 500 apartments right there. Keeping the horn to get this bridge open. This one must go up quick.
Water treatment plant has the capacity to draw and treat up to 150 million gallons of water daily. Though they typically aim for about 40 million gallons daily, the complex chemical process is now automated and takes about 16 hours to turn raw lake water into pristine drinking water. The Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District then treats our wastewater at treatment plants located in Keene and Cuyahoga Heights, so that the water may then be
This is a car bridge.
produced in your watershed. So
And up there is a L bridge that looks like elevated train.
water quality like urine. The cares of the city
This one just go down.
2.1 billion gallons of water every day. Though they actually take closer to 700 million gallons, none of the treated wastewater is returned to Lake Michigan and instead is diverted toward the Mississippi River and away from the lake. The imbalance has actually caused water levels to Lake Michigan and Lake Huron to dip by about 3 inches.
Yeah, it's going down.
Much flood does disrupt natural habitat, shorelines, and navigation for the shipping industry. Spanning more than 295,000 square miles, the Great Lakes region is home to a wide range of natural habitat, supporting more than 3,500 species of plants and animals, including
Here, look at the cranes. Oh, that's a lot lower than it was. That's a pile driver. Basically stands on that pipe and just rattles it. Pushing that pipe down in the ground. Putting in a barrier wall there. They have all those piles, and then they put a sheet pile between them. What are they doing here? With another, oh, they're pounding in a sheet pile. Hear it? Boom, boom, boom. And I bet you they will build the crane mats. I bet you put riprap in behind that or something, and then they're all chained together. See that? Cabled. That's interesting. They called it a sheet piles. They called it a oh, they fill them with concrete. Ah, they're filled with concrete after that. See it? And each of those tails come out and do something. Probably connected to whatever's next. There was probably some kind of a bridge here. That stuff, that's old. They didn't take it out. And then here is kind of done-ish. They got it filled with stuff that won't let it grow. Then they got another fill, and then grass, things, stuff. This is more interesting to me than anything else. Here we'll get a good look at that swing bridge. This bridge is on a swivel balance. They're down there working on it or something. This car is waiting, so it swung away for us.
Some years Lake Erie experiences very little ice cover, and in other years it can reach nearly 100% coverage. Storms, especially in the fall, are very strong in the Great Lakes. And Lake Erie waves can whip up quite suddenly because of the shallow water. When strong winds gather from the west, they often produce waves that increase in size as they move eastward, uninterrupted until finally washing ashore. As mentioned earlier, the Cleveland Breakwall helps protect the local shoreline from the erosion caused by these waves. November gales are among the most fearsome storms encountered on the Great Lakes and have claimed many ships and lives. On Lake Erie alone, there are 270 confirmed shipwrecks and an estimated 2,000 or more undiscovered wrecks. Cleveland is actually a popular destination for scuba divers and has 12 shipwrecks within 8 miles of Cleveland, including several wrecks just beyond the Cleveland main entrance, such as the Fannie L. Jones and the Charles Davis. One of the most famous shipwrecks on the Great Lakes is that of the steamship Edmund Fitzgerald during a tremendous gale on November 10, 1975 in Lake Superior. The Edmund Fitzgerald was bound for the steam mill on Rhode Island near Detroit.
Another cruise slash whatever ship.
Shipping is vital to this region and is one component of Cleveland's economic and environmental sustainability. Great Lakes freighters consume less fuel and produce less CO2 emissions than shipping a similar cargo by truck or rail. In fact, the cargo carried by a 1,000-foot-long Great Lakes freighter would take at least 7 locomotives, hauling 100 trains on more than 2,800 trucks. The Port of Cleveland handles millions of tons of cargo each year, stimulating the local and regional economy and supporting nearly 18,000 jobs in Cleveland and beyond. The rejuvenation of the Cuyahoga River has led to a large uptick in recreational usage, both locally and for the rest of its course as well. A coalition of interested stakeholders, organizations, and communities has been hard at work to obtain Ohio Water Trail status for the Cuyahoga River. This Series of GoodEnough was well underway and could have marked Cleveland as the home of the first freshwater offshore wind farm in North America. However, opposition stemming from environmental concerns, both from the lubricants contained within the wind turbine and from potential disruption to the migration patterns of various species of birds.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Project.
Effing idiots. These train tracks are used. So this bridge must have been pulled up for us. We got a barge with a crane and a tug. Looks like they're fixing stuff and things. Now we're back to music, so our talking is over for a while. And I am just about at 2 hours. So, looks like they're putting in taller sheet piling. Oh, there's no sheet piling out here. Right to there. That looks like really old, crappy concrete, huh? Out to the lighthouse. They're fixing this access to the lighthouse. That is pretty sketchy. Jeez. The barge full of sheet piling. So they're gonna fix this access to the lighthouse. I can see that. That is needed for sure. That is sketchy as hell, man. I'm sure they can't drive out here. How did they bring anything out here to fix stuff? They have to barge it out here, huh? That is sketchy. The river has its way. Okay, we're a little over 2 hours. Thanks for whoever watched. I appreciate it. Give me a like. Put it on in the background and watch the whole thing. I encourage you to come out here. This is pretty fun. There is food on the boat, which I'm going to go find some right now. And there is a dinner cruise version of this. If you're interested in that, there's night versions. Check out the website. I got it in the title or the description, depending on when you watch this. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you later. Bye.